Hi, I'm Randy Gordon. I'm here at the Jazz Heritage Center's soft launch opening of the JHC Media Education Center. And tonight we're showing the Bay Area premiere of a movie called Spencer Halpin's Mortal Kombat. It is a very balanced look at violence in video games, a documentary film, 82 minutes long. You can check out the website URL is mortalkombatmovie.com, M-O-R-A-L. There's no T, not to be confused with the video game Mortal Kombat, but mortalkombatmovie.com. And tonight we have Spencer Halpin, the filmmaker, and we have Lauren Lanning, who is the president of Oddworld. They did Abe's Odyssey. There was an Xbox launch title, and Christian Svensson, who's a VP of Biz Dev for Capcom, will all be on a panel answering questions, Q&A, and there's several people here that were interviewed for this film, and hopefully you'll enjoy it, and you'll enjoy some of Zenny's interviews after the film's over with.
Cool. All right. So, my viewers, Randy told me that this film is about violence in video, right?
Yes.
How widespread is the problem?
The problem is increasingly occurring within video games. A lot of people like Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat.
And tell my viewers who you are.
Oh yes, my name is Jewel Sparks, and I am the president of Indie Vixens, and I'm also the president of Strategic Diversity.
And you were saying about Grand Theft Auto and...
Yeah, so this film actually looks at the incidents of violence, and actually it features Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, and it looks like the incidents of video game violence, and it looks at if there's a potential for violence to be initiated from the virtual world to the reality.
Spencer Halpin, the maker of this film, Mortal Kombat. First of all, I love the film. Congratulations. And tell my viewers, first of all, what the film is about from your perspective. I want from your words,
From my perspective, the film's about violence in video games and First Amendment rights issues in the United States. And as it's in the United States, the thought is that, I like to think of it as the Coca-Cola bottle theory, like from The Gods Must Be Crazy, where when it sort of happens here, the evolution of that, especially in an information era, starts to be progressive around the rest of the world. So the idea is the slippery slope that is possible. Could be possible if, for example, an amendment, a constitutional amendment, were to take place to limit the rights of artists. And then on the other side of the issue, it would be to give people a sense that content is being watched closely, especially as content steps into an evolution, and that there's some responsibility, whether it's on the part of parental responsibility or industry responsibility, in the sense that self-regulation for industry responsibility could be considered important. So it takes these issues, takes a pulse of what's happening in the world right now, which is what every artist sort of wants to be able to do, to measure that pulse. Right now, interactive media is how people are learning to communicate, and video games, the video games business, as being the test bed for that interactive media, was a great point to discuss what's happening in the world right now.
Did you learn anything that you didn't know before in making the film? Was there anything that popped out and said, wow, I didn't expect to figure that out or learn? Or,
Yeah, I mean, as a first-time filmmaker, this whole process was a learning experience for me.
First time, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Thanks. For me, it was like, I guess, a veritable education as far as that's concerned. It was my 4.5-year film school.
It was 4.5
yeah, it was 4.5 years. But from the standpoint of interviewing the dignitaries and responsible parties on both sides of this issue, it was a daily learning experience for me. I really felt relative to all of the topical discussion. I didn't feel as though anybody had sort of obscure things to say. They seemed rational, and that process of leaning to one side, or the other side, was sort of a daily learning experience for me. So in that sense, it was a second way I learned. And then finishing up the film, I met my wife on this film.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we proceeded to have children. So I went from being a boy to a man, sort of
That changed your view about
segue.
video games, or did it reinforce?
I think it reinforced some of the the opinions that I had in the process of walking through this experience in the filmmaking. One of them, I guess, would be that I really like the idea of a media center in a home. I think that I don't want to limit my children's access to information in some sort of a mandatory way, but at the same time, I'd like to be able to sit there with them. I have one son who's 3 years old and one son who's 1.5, so they're like almost Irish twins, and we'll be going through these steps pretty much simultaneously. But I want to sit next to him. I want to be able to use these forms of communication to open dialogue with him about what's happening. And then, in that sense, the hope for this film was so that people will be able to have the same chance to open the dialogue with their children. And that's why I spoke earlier about the demographic being desirable, the desirable demographic being a 42-year-old woman, because I felt she could make the very expensive decision to buy a video game, and to have the tools to make that sort of pragmatic decision-making process is something that I believe everybody wants. Yeah.
I know you want to get some refreshments there, but finally, is there a website where people can go online and?
Yeah. On the web, it's Mortal Kombat movie, and the website has some early and recent press correspondence, and also has snippets from the film. Has a trailer that ended up being largely controversial, though the intention wasn't in that area. Understandably, it was controversial, and it keeps people posted of the process that's going on right now with the film as it moves into distribution in January.
Spencer, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much.